Today we're going to be moving a small section of slab. This slab is 3 feet 6 that way by 8 foot 6 that way. And we can start by, this is a Johnson bar. You get this Johnson bar, you get some lumber to give you some more force, and you put it as close to the load as possible, and then you pry up. It might take some work. I'm just one guy doing this. And you pry up on this, you stick a wedge in here, use another piece of lumber or rock. If you can see under there, I got a piece of rock right there, which didn't really work, but once you get that up, I'm gonna break this up in sections so that I can remove it with my wheelbarrow. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bust it with a sledgehammer here. And the reason why you're gonna raise it, you can't do this with a very long stretch of sidewalk because it's obviously too heavy. But if you can get it pried up, and you pry it up for one reason. So when you start busting this thing up with the with the sledgehammer, the debris will fall down. It won't clog up the hole, and you don't have to stop, clean out. You might have to do it, but it's gonna be very minimal. And the other sidewalk I bust out, it has reinforced steel meshing, wire meshing. I believe this also has reinforced wire meshing, and it just makes the process a whole lot easier. Again, this is just for a small piece. Later. All right, now your next step is I'm gonna start busting it right here with the sledgehammer, and I'm gonna break this into sections. I'm gonna bust it all the way across until I break through the whole slab, and then I remove this whole section here. I remove that, and I'll just continue working my way. Now it's just a matter of just going to town on this thing and busting it loose. I took a couple whacks at it, and this is what I mean. When you create space down there, you allow yourself to bust this concrete, the debris falls down, it doesn't cluster in there, it locks everything in, and then you have to spend extra time cleaning that out. By raising it, when you bust it, as you can see, you got a big crack over there, it's almost done. You allow that debris to fall, clear your wire, then you come around with some bolt cutters. You cut that wire out. Next thing you know, that whole piece is free, and you can remove sidewalk a lot faster. Well, as you can see, I added another piece of wood over there, like my wedge this up to get the slab off the ground. That way all this is elevated, and when I finish whacking this right here and cutting the wire, this piece will fall down, and I could just pick it up with the wheelbarrow and haul it away. But yes, I had this section here jacked up. That one was laying on the ground. Had I left it like that, when I bust that through, that rock was just gonna be embedded in the dirt, and it's going to make the removal a lot difficult. So I just went ahead and elevated that, and I could continue busting the sidewalk right there. All right, we got it all busted through one section, and clean that out a little bit, cut the wire, take that thing out. All right, this is the reason why we elevated this, because had we not elevated this, I wouldn't be able to take this by hand, take this stuff out by hand, because it will all be knitted in there very tight. You see, by you elevating it, you create room within the debris, and by you creating room, you could unwedge these big pieces loose with your hand instead of constantly beating this rubble down in the ground, where it's not gonna do you any good but make the job a lot harder. As you can see, this stuff is coming out very easy. I'm exposing the wire, which is the next piece, the next part that I'm gonna do. And I'm free. Some of this stuff is gonna be wedged in there, like this one here, you see. But I think if I just beat it a couple times, I'm all right. What we're trying to accomplish and what we're trying to get to is this wire right here. Once we get this wire out, get to this wire. Once we get to this wire meshing, and we're able to cut it, we really don't need to dig out anymore. This section will come out in one whole piece. But you see how loose this is? I could take these pieces out with my hand. I got one hand. I only have one hand. If I had the other one, you see, comes loose. There you have it. All right, I got most of this wire busted. That one, this one, that one. This one, there's a piece of wire in between here. This wire meshing. They're 6 by 6 inch squares. There was one here. I took my Johnson bar and just beat that. It's tied into that mesh is tied onto this rock. I just beat it until it broke. And now we're just gonna cut this one with the bolt cutters, and we're free. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Use that as my leverage while I'm recording. Put it there. Snap. All right, this piece should come up. See, that piece is free. All right, we're gonna haul that away. All right, as you can see, that section is gone. It's just a matter of cleaning up that little debris right there afterwards. But now I started again. I pried this side up, put my wedge right there to hold the slab up, create some room. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I did it. It's not that hard. So you just set up your pry bar, put a little fulcrum there, and then you just take your let's see if I can move the leverage this way. Put a little brick right here. See if that'll work. Get me higher. Yeah, that's much better. Alright, once you do that, you got some space there. I'm gonna go ahead and bust it right there at that line. So I want to put my lumber back there, behind that, behind my line. Also, be careful with these pinch points. Make sure before you start sticking your hand anywhere in here, your bar is far enough, because this bar could slip out, and if you got your hand in there, which you shouldn't be putting your hand under there, it could come down and pinch your hand, cause some real bad injuries. And now I'll let this down. You see how my slab is elevated? I got plenty of room down there. You can also see this way you can find out if you got any critters, any snakes. The other two slabs I removed, there was some garter snakes, non-poisonous, but you don't want to be surprised by something down there. And you just keep busting it out and you get all your slab removed. So there you have it. Job complete. Well, not complete, but just got to remove this dirt. And that's how you remove a slab. Another note that I would like to make, there's a cleaner way of doing this. You could get yourself a 12-inch, 14-inch diamond blade, get yourself a gas saw, rent it at Home Depot, make your cuts wherever you want. That way you can handle it by yourself or whatever size crew you have. I was working today by myself. I didn't have the means of renting the gas saw, so I wanted the exercise, need the exercise. Didn't take me long, about an hour, and got it done. Just a little elbow grease, a little muscle, and God be the glory. Everything the result of this project. He's the one that gives me the strength. But yeah, you could do this a cleaner way. The downside of doing it this way is that then you have this you got to remove. But again, it didn't take long. The downside of the cutting it with a saw is that it'll take you longer, maybe, because once you cut it, you don't have the cleanup time. But to make the actual cuts is a longer process than beating it out with the sledgehammer. So it might take about the same amount of time, either or. It's just what you prefer to do, what route you decide to take. But this concludes the project of how to remove a small sidewalk with a sledgehammer. If you guys have any other easier way than what I illustrated here, I'll be happy to hear from you guys. Later.